Hey everybody, it's Jim Prevost with Embrace the Shake. Bringing several things in tonight um, regarding Parkinson's and um, new medications being tested and some helpful hints. And so I'm bringing together tonight um, several items and should be on about 30 minutes. Have Moose with me in his crate and he's got the door open and relaxing. And first of all, we want to uh, remember our law enforcement officers, my dear friend Tim Burkeen, end of watch September 12th, 2016. Tim was killed in the line of duty and the Cleveland County, Shelby City community. We miss him daily. This is the patch that Moose wears on his vest in honor of Tim. Today is Law Enforcement Day, and I just wanted to display that to remember Tim and remember all of our law enforcement officers uh, who protect us day and night. I just can't say enough about Tim. He was an incredible man and left a reputation of godliness and a wonderful father and husband and law enforcement officer. Tim never met a stranger. We miss you, Tim, and one day we'll see you again. God bless you, brother. Uh, I'd like to say hello to everybody that's on tonight. The Mutton Fudgers and my college roommate Bob and Alex Lathrop is on tonight. And Alex is always with us. It's wonderful to have her on board. So I'm going to go ahead and get started since I'm dragging. There's a drug that's being tested. It's all about drugs, isn't it? And that's right, Alex. God bless the blue officers. It's called Baseline, and it is being currently tested in rats. And hello, Beth. How you doing? Good to see you. Glad you're on tonight. And they're testing this medication in doses with rat studies. John Wall, good to see you, brother. Enjoyed the picture of you and your lovely daughter in your leather jacket. It's a great picture. Hey, Rock. Um, anyway, this medication was used in rats to determine its effects as far as a bioactive agent and what bioactive agents are. Hey, brother Bill, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for your donation. It's to help us get um, Biggie to Maddie. We're getting there, bud. And without folks like yourself and Penny's also donated, we're going to make this possible for a wonderful young lady. To get back to the medication I was talking about, this is a bioactive agent that what it does is it creates positive reactions in cells, particularly those in the brain. And it works well with the contention is that it'll work well with the human brain, help stabilizing the neuro receptors and the neurons and the neurogenic process to retard or actually stop or decrease the chemical reaction that causes dopamine to be damaged. Um, right now, the early stages of this study is that it has significantly impacted the neurons, neuronal death, and it is causing a decrease in the negative neurodegeneration. So this is wonderful, and I'm reading directly here is that the malfunction in the mitochondria, which are the cells also known as the powerhouse cells, is greatly diminished when this medication is taken over a series of doses. So this is positive. So they're going to go ahead and move on. It also helps with the maintenance of the balance or maintaining a balance of the chemicals necessary in our brain that help balance and prevent the death of the dopamine that we lack. This is seen as an aggressive therapy in the fact that most of the therapies that we have now, most treatments, are just designed to ease the symptoms, not stop them. In fact, there's nothing to stop the progression. However, this medication in rat studies, which are very small compared to human studies, are very positive. So it gives the scientists the idea that we can progress the level of studies and progress the level and the number of studies we do. And let me give you a very simple conclusion to this. You had a group of rats that were healthy and had certain brain chemistries. And then they took a set of rats that had signs mimicking Parkinson's that were chemically induced. And then they took the medication, this bioslin, and uh, um, introduced it to the rats over a period of seriatic doses. And they saw changes over a period of time that were almost identical to the healthy brain tissue and the healthy motor coordination and the healthy balance of a non-affected rat. So even if this study fails down line, it still gives us hope that they can mimic these type of studies in adults through controlled factors. So I'm all excited about this, and I wanted to bring it to you. Um, one more time is that this, and I have to refer to my notes because I can't remember all this. This just is hot off the press, January 9th, in fact, that this almost halts the process of dopamine being damaged or, and I don't like using this word killed, damaged beyond repair where it doesn't function. So, excuse me. Thank you for Katarina Silver for producing this study in the Parkinson's news today. And I thought I'd share that. That comes from the January 9th edition. Another thing I'd like to introduce is saliva testing. This is also hot off the press. Dr. Anna Pina this is the January 9th edition of the Parkinson's Today newsletter. They have developed a saliva test because saliva has some of the same blood properties that we have in our bodies, and in our blood properties are our biomarkers. And the nice thing about this, it also the saliva mimics the metabolic changes that occur in our body. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? Good to see you, Coach Brooks. Everybody's on board tonight. I just thank you so much for being here. It means a lot. Dwayne Fowler and I served together in the Guard, an incredible NCO. Went on to the Navy, did an outstanding job there as a CB, and I love him dearly. And I didn't get to say that hello earlier, but I wanted to. Coach Chris Norman, my dear friend, fellow Grip, and I run coaching staff together, I guess, for about 20 years. Um, I can't speak enough about Chris. I just love him to death. And I don't have any brothers, natural born brothers, but I consider Chris and I'll say this, Jeff Jones and my brothers, and just great guys. My brother-in-law, Robbie Hockersmith, is on tonight. Thanks, Robbie. Good to see you there. Bubbles, Rachel Buff there. Good to see you. But anyway, get back to this test. So the saliva has your biomarkers in it, has your metabolic rate. And what the contention is that the saliva test can produce or provide information possibly to the level of Parkinson's that you have, in addition to whether you have it. So that would be absolutely wonderful, um, to see if you have the biomarker for Parkinson's. And number two, to also see what level, if you are diagnosed with it. My contention is that if they can do a saliva test and see that you do have the biomarkers of Parkinson's and you're exhibiting the signs of Parkinson's, some signs of Parkinson's, they can put one and one together to get two. And then you have the metabolic slowdown rate. There's a third diagnostic intention. They can put those three together quickly and determine that you may have Parkinsonism and start you on Parkinson's treatment. And what's nice about that, I apologize for that. I can't control that. And um, I had one person leave me a note one time, says, well, if you yawn so much, maybe you shouldn't broadcast. And I invited them to spend the day in my shoes, see if they didn't yawn. Anyway, it would be nice if they could put all this together earlier and then start treating for Parkinson's earlier. Hey, Tracy, my sister's on tonight. Hey, Trace, good to see you. Thanks for being on. What would happen is that with Parkinson's medications, you either see a positive change or a negative nothing. And therefore, they have to alter the medications. But if they could start that process sooner, then that would help us do better down line. Veronica Smelter is on. Veronica is a graduate of Limestone College. She plays professional soccer overseas. Veronica um, Veronica was responsible for my rehabilitation last year, and I will say this, is that under her care, while she was still a student, I did better than any time before. Um, it's just absolutely incredible what she can do in the realm of athletic training. It's just absolutely wonderful. And yes, Tracy, I do have brothers. I have brothers, a lot of brothers from everywhere. But I just wanted to speak particularly to Chris and Jeff because I've never really said that to them, and I just wanted to say that publicly. Molly, the saliva test also is used to determine if you have a probability through biomarkers, metabolism, and a few other tests. It's early in the ball game, but it's something that they're looking at. So it's really kind of wonderful. The last thing I want to say about the saliva test is that we all know that the saliva test is cost effective. Excuse me. Cost effective. It's insurance reimbursable according to what the article says. Um, it's a true indicator of our DNA, and so maybe they can take the DNA study from like me and apply that to my son or my daughter. And what I do know is that since I'm idiopathic, meaning the only one in my family, the likelihood of me passing it to my children's generation is really nil to none. So I find that absolutely fantastic. So I wouldn't wish this on anybody because it's absolutely no fun, as you can see. So that takes care of our saliva testing tonight. I had a wonderful time today. I actually went to my first um, Parkinson's support group meeting as a participant. I had been to one before, but I was like an observer. I went with somebody and I just didn't do well with it. But this one I went today was incredible at Adrian Rehab in Belmont at the invitation of my dear friends that are in my boxing group, um, Penny and Daryl and Gary were there today, and I brought my lovely wife, Marion, and we just had us a blast. We did some Tai Chi. You want to see something funny? Watch a bunch of Parkies do Tai Chi. Anyway, Madeline Rose is on tonight. Maddie, good to see you. Are you back at Converse yet? Madeline is the wonderful young lady that we are raising money for so she can get her mobility service dog, Biggie. And Maddie is just an absolutely wonderful young lady, very intelligent, absolutely beautiful, a comedian of sorts. And I've always enjoyed my time around her. She was kind enough to let us interview her a couple weeks ago before the holiday, and I'd love to have her on again. Just precious. And Maddie, we're going to get your dog. I promise you that, dear. We're getting close, and folks, we're only about $1,900 down left to get out of 5,000. And thank God for Rescue 22 helping us with this, and Angela Connor at Rescue 22 and Dee Howe at Magic City Canine in Miami, Florida. Um, uh, I should try living with her. She can come stay at my house, Marianne. I'd love to have her up here. Um, but we couldn't do this without Dee and Angela and everybody at Rescue 22 Magic City Canine. Dee it's just got a wonderful trainer working with Biggie, and I'm just so excited to meet him. Hopefully we'll meet the trainer and Biggie as well. I know we'll see Biggie possibly sometime in February. So, folks, please visit the GoFundMe campaign that we have going. You'll see that on my page or on the Embrace the Shake of Parkinson's disease page. We are 100% transparent. All dollars are going to Biggie to bring Biggie home to Maddie. The folks that are receiving the funds are those that are training, because we're only having to pay for the training. We're not having to pay for any of the board or any of the food. And I tell you what, that and housing rather, that is just incredible. And we thank Dee at Magic City Canine so much for that. And Angela Connor for helping us out with Maddie. They've just been a godsend. So we look forward to that. Like I said, I had a wonderful time. Bob, thanks for helping too. Bob, my roommate from college, donated. Bill Wiley's on here tonight, has donated. I hope I haven't missed anybody that's on tonight. But thank you guys for what you've done. Bill Wiley, by the way, is a Vietnam vet, served with valor, wonderful guy, always been a role model to me. Anyway, I was at the meeting today and we did some Tai Chi. It was wonderful to meet to spend time with these lovely folks. We had a discussion. Daryl and I had a discussion about coconut oil. He brought it up and said that a friend of his had brought up the use of coconut oil with Parkinson's disease. So I told him I would do some research on it and try to be a man of my word. So the article that I have was written by Dr. Natalie Olson, who is a registered dietitian, a terminal degree dietitian. She's also a member of the American College of Sports Medicine, and she's a licensed dietitian. And her studies indicated that over 1 million people in the United States have Parkinson's disease, and tens of thousands each year are being diagnosed. And oddly enough, that's after already about 60% of the folks have already been misdiagnosed. And her concerns were, what can we do for the tremors and muscle spasms and the muscular pain that Parkies endure throughout the day and at night often wake us up at night. So she introduced the use of coconut oil, virgin coconut oil. I didn't know there was virgin coconut oil. and coconut oil, just I guess generic brand or a regular brand, and see if it would help some of the symptoms. And the reports that she got from the patients is anecdotal, which means it's taken an unfamiliar, informal platform. It's more like a discussion. It's considered a qualitative, and it's considered personal testimony. And anecdotal evidence really doesn't have a high level of evidence, but it does provide some validity to people's perceptions about certain things. And what the study showed is that coconut oil is high in triglycerides, and then when added to the body, it elevates the triglyceride level. And this is positive because triglycerides are stored fats that aren't being used right now, so to speak. They're used a little bit later. They're stored for reserve energy, and coconut oil does raise that. And I don't know if the virgin oil was better than the regular oil. Hey, Paul, thanks for coming on. Um, Tara, thanks for donating. Tara Jackson there donated to the cause to help Maddie get Biggie. Madeline Rose is on tonight. Might want to link up with her. You guys would be an incredible pair. Jimmy Martin, um, incredible guy, famous coach at Limestone softball. Played football for me at Gaffney, and a good friend. He and Beth are good friends of Marianne and I and our families. It's just wonderful. Again, Tara, thanks for donating. And Maddie Rose is on tonight, and Maddie, Tara donated to the Biggie Fund, so y'all might want to link up. Again, another positive thing of this study demonstrated that increase or any uptake or intake um, of the coconut oil, um, it increased and the antioxidants. And oxidants are negative factors that cause oxidation and burnout of cells. When you have antioxidants, then you have a prolongation of the cells. So it's all good. It's all positive. So it also neutralizes free radicals. So we're good to go there. So you take it for what it's worth. Um, Positive effects, not much of an effect, and it's all anecdotal evidence. So, um, um, you know, take it as it's may. When you have something like this, a neurodegenerative disorder, that eventually, hey Patrick, good to see you, man. Excited about next week getting together and helping you and work with the rehab programs that we're going to develop and hopefully implement at Limestone. I want to say this about my rehab class. I have 3 students in that class, and by far, those are the best ones I've ever had in rehab class. I pit them against anybody. And they really, the last about 6-8 weeks of the class, just really jumped in and grabbed it. And I just cannot wait to see what's going to come starting next week. So again, I've drifted. I'm sorry, but the coconut oil, try it. It's worth it. If you gain effects from it, whether it's psychological effects or placebo effect, go for it. I mean, what can it hurt, right? If you have any negative side effects, avoid it. Always check your medications and make sure that there's no interaction issues with coconut oil and any of your Parkinson's meds, much like there would be with grapefruit and heart medications. So always check with your doctor or your pharmacist. So moving on to maybe a little bit, uh, I would say, fun thing. First of all, we're now out of the holiday season, and I was a little behind the 8 ball here um, about Christmas gifts. It was easy to buy for the family, but I never thought about what my family had to go through to buy me Christmas gifts. Hey Ashley, good to see you. Can't wait to see that baby. Um, see that lovely little one. Um, what do you buy a Parky? You know, do you get him a magnetic shirt? Do you get him an oversized a fork with an oversized handle? Do you get him the special Parky pens that are really kind of cool? You know, what do you get them? You want to get them something that's nice, but you don't want to offend them. And I just want to tell you right now, all the ones I've been around have had it for a while before it was diagnosed, and then they've had it a while, and it's pretty hard to offend us because you know, we have thick skin most of the time. Uh, so I'm going to give you some hints, and I got this from an article that was written in May. I wish I'd had this earlier, but this can also apply to birthdays. First of all, let's talk about heating blankets. That's a heck of a gift. They're not that expensive. You can get them just about anywhere. But please understand that folks with Parkinson's have temperature regulation issues. During the winter months, we're usually very cold. Excuse me. Wow, I haven't done that for about 8 minutes. They get very cold and they have problems regulating temperature in cold weather. So nothing like a heating blanket that they can, you know, use while they're in their uh, um, easy chair or on the couch or wherever, and just have them pull it with them to the bedroom and throw it in the bed, and you're good to go. So they have battery operated ones now. That's right, Alex. The best gifts you can ever have is a loving family. There you go. Alex wraps it up as always. Generous friends, delicious food that we can. You're right, Alex. Thank you for sharing that. Another gift is an e-reader. Um, Imagine these fingers trying to turn pages. Okay, and as you know, I can back get them there. I had boxing last night, so they're still a little, you know, enhanced range of motion, and they don't extend out all the way as you can see anymore. But turning pages is difficult, so what I do is I kind of cheat. Sometimes I'll put a piece of tape on the end of my thumb and I'll flick the page that way. But purchase an e-reader, you know, to help with the dexterity, like a Nook or a Kindle or any other type of e-reader. You can actually use a computer with a mouse that has dual touch mouse and the center ball. Some of the ball on the mouse are down here. Mouses, mice, whatever the heck you want to call it. But also, um, there's a type that you can get a grip put on. I have a friend of mine that has Parkinson's. He just uses double stick tape, and it sticks right to his hand. So um, after a while, he just changes it out. So it's a great idea there. So because of the manipulation and the dexterity skills of our hands, that's a good idea. Another thing is, how about a spa day? Several reasons there. You know, we have a lot of issues with muscle pain, and we have issues with joint aches, and we have a lot of muscle issues with rigidity. So a massage is outstanding. Um, and my suggestion would be, Daryl, if you don't mind, I'd like to get up with you after this show tonight about some concrete and other stuff work. If you don't mind, I'd appreciate it. Um, anyway, this spa day, it's really, we have a lot of pain. And most of the folks that I know that are Parkies don't take pain medications because we're afraid of the opioid addictions. Because of the loss of dopamine in our body, we we have an impaired um, um, sensory capabilities, and it would sometimes take a higher dose of, hey, Arlen, good to see you, um, would take a higher dose of medication, and you can have an accidental addiction or, you know, whether it's physiological or psychological. So we're very fearful of opioid-based medications and analgesics. And the alternative to that is massage therapy, acupuncture, dry needling, and therapeutic modalities of that type. And in addition to that, if you want to buy that for a gift to somebody, go ahead and kick in a manicure or a pedicure or a mani-pedi together for a male or female, because we have a hard time um, utilizing um, um, toenail clippers and files that are very small. Even the wide ones are extremely difficult to use. Um, Slipper socks. Those things are wonderful if they have the anti-slip grip, but just a regular slipper sock without the slip, without the anti-slip grip, the rubberized bottom is dangerous. Another thing is my mother, God bless Gina, sent me these, okay, and they are called Sure Grip shoe covers. And they have these little spikes on them, as you can see, okay, from one side here and the other side here. One slips on your heel, one slips on your toe. And when you're out in the weather where it could be icy, this could help you maintain your balance by not slipping. I'm almost excited for an ice storm just to see if these work. Um, so let's give it a go, and hopefully it snows this year. Good to see you, Ryan Witt, athletic trainer, and Aaron Allen, also an athletic trainer, and now assistant super, I believe an associate superintendent in Lincoln County. Aaron, a good friend of mine, top-notch guy, was one of my interns and just has had an incredible career in education. Hey, Maggie, how you doing? Good to see you. George, high school friend. Um, George, I believe you had a family loss, and I'm so sorry. So sorry. Prayers are with you, brother. Foot massagers. And I'm narrowing down on this list. I know I'm a little long tooth tonight. Um, Foot massagers are really good for folks that have Parkinson's because a lot of times um, um, we have issues with cramping in our feet, neuropathy, which is a burning sensation. Um, Sometimes we have decreased sensation. You're the man, Aaron. You're the man. Um, Decreased sensation in our feet. We have skin issues where there's skin breakdown, dry skin sloughing, and a foot massager, warm water foot massager that has the ability to have therapeutic. Hey, Brandy, good to see you. Therapeutic lotions or liquids to help that massage process would reduce nighttime cramping in the feet, help with neuropathy, burning, help with the skin sloughing in a good, sterile, clean environment. Always make sure before you purchase that you don't have any issues with notable decreased circulation to your feet because you don't want to cause a blood clot, excuse me, or any phlebitis. And to get back to the massage, and I failed to mention it when I was talking about it, when you select somebody to do your massage, uh, I recommend strongly somebody that has experience with disorders, neurological degeneration disorders, or folks trained in lymphedema. They understand lymphatics and neurology and are more equipped, in my opinion, that they would provide a safer, more focal and appropriate type of a massage for somebody with a neurogenital disorder. Um, Although this was in this article, I had a friend of mine. I have a friend of mine who has Parkinson's that's on a cane. He's very reluctant to use his cane. He's very, he said it bothers him. I think he's also self conscious with this. But his lovely bride, excuse me, of, uh, of 45 years, bought him a walking stick, a hiking stick like you can get our REI or Dunham's or a Bass Shack or one of those um, um, sports outfitters, and got him a high grade walking stick, and he uses that all the time. And he goes to the mall with it. He'll go to church with it, and I mean he's just out and about. But and he's walking a lot better because it's taller, and he's actually got some. He took some tennis racket tape and put it around his walker. This walking stick, so he can have a good sure grip and at different levels. So he's kind of personalized it. And then finally, a shower caddy. I'm going to stop it at the shower caddy. It's really hard. I have handicap bars in all of our bathrooms here um, at the house, and I have two in my bathroom right near my shower. I have one in which is vertical, and outside's a vertical, and then where the toilet is, there's a angled one that allows you to have a vertical and a horizontal hold on it. And it's the stepping out and then all the safety factors with moving, but bending over in a shower is a safety issue. So if you can get your loved one a taller type shower caddy, they have them at Walmart. They have little ones and then they have big high ones, and some of them have a base on the bottom. Um, that's a really good idea to have that in the shower so the individual can reach in the caddy and get their shampoos and their soaps and stuff and not risk bending over. Next time we meet, I'll bring up some other gift ideas for birthday gifts or special occasion gifts for the Parkinson's patient. But I'm going to go ahead and end it with that as far as my material tonight. I know that I was a little long in the tooth and nonstop talking, but I wanted to maximize. Um, yeah, Bob, you know about tile reinforcement, don't you? I hope that you've picked up some helpful hints tonight and maybe understand Parkinson's a bit more. I appreciate your support. Please remember our campaign to bring Biggie home to Maddie. We're trying to raise $5,000 or about $3,100 mark through the generosity of a lot of people on here tonight. Bob, Tara, and Bill. And I hope I didn't miss anybody. You have to excuse my memory. Have donated, and it's just wonderful what you guys have done. Thank you so much. Again, remember today is Law Enforcement Day. If you were not able to thank an officer for their service, please do so. Pay it forward. Might want to buy them lunch or supper when you're out at the restaurant and you see them there. And I know we're in tough times in our country right now, but remember, we're always back to troops. Pray for their safety and let's bring them home. God bless America. God bless all of you out there. Thanks for your support. We appreciate you, and always remember, embrace the shape. Good evening, everybody.